Hi everyone, it's Joy, and welcome to the Global Stampin' Vlog Hop. This time we are going to be casing projects from the catalog. I am going to be using the hand-pinned suite and making this card right here. It is a bit of an avid crafter card for those who've been crafting a while, but I'm going to break it down so that you will know how to make it even if you are a beginner. The stamp set for this suite is called Hand Penned Petals, and it pairs with the Penned Flowers dies. I will also be using the lovely labels Pick a Punch Punch, and it has these two different types of tags that you can make out of it. The size of cardstock that fits is 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or 1 inch. I will be using the 1 inch, so it does the full amount of the curves here. To start off, you will need an A2 card base, which is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. If you are in another country where you use A4, I have adjusted the metric measurements shown at the end for your size card base. This is a piece of Pool Party cardstock. It is half of a sheet of 8.5 by 11, and then it has been scored in half at the 4.25 inch mark. We are folding this in half and then using our bone folder to make a nice crisp crease. So there's our card base. We will also need some of the hand-penned 12 by 12 designer series paper. It comes with the beautiful floral prints on one side and then more tone on tone or white on tone prints that are a little more solid on the other side. It is one of my favorite new papers this time in the new annual catalog. We've cut this piece down to be the same length as our card base, and then it is 1.5 inches across or 3.8 centimeters. Taking some of my Stampin' Seal, I'm going to attach that directly onto my card base, making sure that my flowers are going, the right direction so that I don't have upside down flowers. And put that over, about so far onto the card base. So that is the first start. Next, I need a piece of basic white that is 3 5/8 inches by 4.25 inches. You can check the measurements page in the end of this video for your metric measurements. I've also taken a piece of the gingham ribbon, the bumblebee color of the gingham ribbon, and I have cut a 2-inch piece, which is approximately 5 centimeters. And then I have taken a piece that is 1 and about 3/4 inches of this layer. So to make my bow, it is a ribbon saving technique or a faux bow technique. I'm going to make a loop and then leave that little loop. It's going to be on one end, and leave enough of a loop that I can slip this short piece into the loop on my long piece and then pull, so that creates a nice little flat tied piece. And I'm going to attach that on about the top 1/3 of that layer. And I want to attach it all the way over to the edge where my knot is all the way over. I'm going to take and put some Stampin' Seal to attach my ribbon. And then I need to give my ribbon just a tiny little trim to get rid of that frayed edge. Make them match. And this piece will attach to our card base with dimensionals. Going to line this up so that I have even on the sides and even on the top and bottom. Now this is the cake part of our card. Let's start building our icing parts. I'm going to be using the Stamparatus and a piece of cardstock that is 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. Again, the metric measurements will be at the end of the video. And I have marked a little spot as to where I want to put my card to stamp on. And you will need 2 of these because you will have to stamp 2 of them for this card. I am using the Tuxedo Black Memento ink to ink up my stamp. It's the largest stamp in this set. Bring it on top of my card. And this is a little trick that I picked up from another demonstrator. Use a dry erase eraser to help you give some nice even pressure. That looks perfect. Now it's time to bring in my stamps that I will use to color the insides of those flowers. I'm going to be using Highland Heather to start out with, and I'm going to be using this stamp Full Strength. I don't have to get this perfect because this is a watercolor look, so these stamps will not match 100% exactly. And I've gone ahead and my other 2 solid parts of my flowers, I've gone ahead and I've laid them down on the stamped image and then put a clear block on top of it so that I can stamp those both at the same time for time saving. I'm going to stamp off because I want that a little bit paler. The color will not be as intense, which is what I'm going for. Nice even pressure. Next, I will stamp these flowers here, and the stamp there connected with my So Saffron ink pad. I'm going to do that Full Strength as well. And I have 2 of them. I have cleaned off this same stamp and I'm bringing in my Calypso Coral ink pad because I'm going to give the centers of those just a little extra touch. I'm also going to be using a Q-tip because I only want to get it in the very center, and that is a very small stamp. So a sponge dauber wouldn't quite work. I did try that and it was just a little too large. So I am just inking that up with a Q-tip on my pad. I'm going to stamp off and then stamp that directly on top. So that gives it a nice little darker center. Next I have my 2 leaf stamps, a small one and a large one, and my Mint Macaron ink pad. These colors are the colors that coordinate with the hand-pinned Designer Series paper. So I'm going to be stamping off and then stamping on. Now I have a beautiful colored bloomed piece that I'm going to cut out with the die cut that coordinates, and I will be back. I have die cut out this piece and I have another one already ready to go. So these pieces are going to be attached to the front of our card. The first one is just going to be done with a tape runner. I'm bringing my catalog page back in. It is actually page 104 in the annual catalog, so that I can know where to place these pieces that I have stamped, because I want to make them look like the sample, because that's what I am doing. I am casing the catalog. This piece is going to go on dimensionals. There we go. So we have one that is adhered flat onto this base and one that is popped up with dimensionals. For this piece here, I did not have the die, which is from another set. So I went ahead and decided to use the Lovely You Pick a Punch. And I am using Fresh Freesia cardstock. When I looked up the recipe, it said that it was using Highland Heather. But I don't know. I just thought that the sample looked like it was more Fresh Freesia than Highland Heather. And I liked how, you know, this stood out a little better than either this is with the Gorgeous Grape, which is the same as on this one, or the black. I just didn't think either one of those just really made this card pop. So I'm going to show you what I have done using this Pick-a-Punch. And there is my little cardstock extender, because this is a small piece. It is 1 inch wide by 2 1/4 inches long. I'm going to open my punch, slide that in, and I need this kind of handle here that I've attached with washi tape. And that is going to go, I'm turning it upside down to make sure it goes in the spot that I want it to go. So I have done that side. Now I'm going to attach it on the other end so that I can do it on the other end of this cardstock. To make sure that I'm getting this stamp on this piece straight and that I'm getting it at the strength that I want, I've gone ahead and made a little guide with some scrap pieces of cardstock and taped them together, keeping one of the pieces that comes off when you punch it. So now this piece, I can take the piece off that's attached by washi tape and slide that in to our little spot. Going to use Gorgeous Grape ink. Now this piece is ready to go. I'm going to attach it with, once again, dimensionals. It goes right here on this card. I'm going to move my ribbon just a little bit. And hopefully I'm getting this straight. So now you can see that I have cased this project from the catalog, making it match as closely as I can. I did forget there is one more thing I have to do. You can't forget the bling. So now I'm going to bring in the Genial Gems and my Take Your Pick tool. I'm using the Mint Macaron Genial Gems, using a large one. It comes in large ones and small ones. A large one and then a small one. And then another one. Groupings of 3 are very pleasing to the eye. I'm going to do 3 more in this area. Take a small one, scoot that over. I guess I need to turn it over first. And then I'm going to put 2 more up here, a small and a large. So there you have it. It matches the card in the catalog. So I have cased, which means copy and share with everyone, or copy and share everything, depending on what your preference is. I hope that you have liked my cased project from the annual catalog. Please be sure to order any products from this sample from the demonstrator that invited you. If you do not already have a regular demonstrator, you may either contact me if you're in the US, or you can go to the demonstrator locator to find a demonstrator in your area. Until next time, talk to you later.